Hello and good afternoon. My name is Gerald Reynolds, and this is my narrated presentation on the updated business practice. So, what is digital growth? Digital growth refers to the increased use of digital equipment and information on a personal level, as well as a global level. Digital growth explains how it impacts organizations. Example is Walmart is at its all-time high when it comes to digital growth, offering things such as the in-store pickup option and now grocery pickup, as well to keep up with increase of e-commerce websites such as Amazon, Best Buy, everybody else that has online items. Describe how digital growth impacts society as a whole and your store in the future. An example again is when Walmart used big data to see the trend of shopping online starting to affect their sales because their e-commerce wasn't as strong as it is today. They updated their e-commerce and started being a force to recognize in the online shopping world by using big data. If it wasn't for the big data and Walmart being able to use technology such as self-checkout and pickup online and using e-commerce itself, Walmart probably wouldn't be able to hang on to their competition, and it might be lesser competition, probably go out of business such as Kmart did. Some key methods of identifying development is unique characteristics, interests, roles, views, and thoughts. So we spend more time online communicating versus face-to-face communication. Therefore, learning everyday communication skills through the internet. People often develop on the internet from learning new things you see or can do on the internet. People are literally using YouTube to figure out how to work on cars, how to build things for their house, such to that nature. So definitely, technology has helped us in a whole. When it comes to individuals help developing the identity of an organization, the way that we used to do it is word of mouth, such as construction companies or people like tree services and stuff like that. You might have a neighbor that likes a certain person and recommends them. When it comes to using technology, though, is you got people who are going on social media. For example, if a company doesn't do what they said, they would go on there and post about it, and either give them bad reputation, or if they do a really good job and love their experience, and they go on social media and share it with others. Symbolic interaction can said to be the backbone of social media because it's a process in which technology has went through in the way of communication, and conflict theory also plays a role into social media through the digital world we live in, because everybody is at competition with one another to have a better relationship, better life, just better everything when it comes to friends on social media. And that's, so-and-so just got a new car. You got people out there that are like, oh, okay, I have to get a new car now and post it on social media. Some advancements to technology is, let's take phones for an example. Before the internet, we used to communicate through phones, old school phones that didn't have, face-to-face, FaceTime option or Skype or any of that. Interviews were done face-to-face, or over like a phone, like, hey, how are you? What's your name? Can you come in this time and do an interview? Now interviews are done on Skype Live Lecture and so on. People wrote letters back in the day to spend more time spent more time seeing people face to face and hanging out outside of work and home. People enjoyed more time doing productive things at work and home. Fast forward to the internet era. Interviews are barely done in person. They're all done online now. People talk to each other through social media and video chat. I know some people who don't even like to talk on the phone anymore. They rather just text. People are wasting more time on their phones and less time working or doing things around the house. They sit around on Facebook or on Pinterest. Story is to the effectiveness of everything and advancements of technology in an organization is the store is either going to be more productive or less productive based on the training. If individuals don't know how to use the technology to be more productive, then you have to spend more time training them. They could be using the technology for other things such as, scrolling the internet or whatnot, if they had an iPad walking around the store. What is digital define and how can this impact the use of technology in your store? Well, digital define is a gap between those who have readily access to computers and internet and those who don't. It impacts the store through having more training for people who don't know how to use it. Also, it is the store's job to make computers and technology accessible to their employees that may use it. Conflict theory explains why stress and conflict occur in society and how they create social change. Focuses on competition, inequality of power, and reward and social change. Symbolic interaction explains the meaning of human interactions or human actions and the process through which people communicate, share meanings, focus on interpersonal interactions. Outline some additional theories that can help explain the need of technological growth at your store. Well, truth is, the theory I chose is functionalism perspective, because one organization change the way they do things most of the time it's by their competitors, and competitors change as well. Or if the market changes due to outside factors, then organizations change as well. Functionalist perspective being the theory that interconnects all things in society. One can't happen without the other. Therefore, functionalism perspective is the best theory, because that saying is, like in 2006, Walmart had a bad was good business, but they started losing sales because that's when the internet came. The internet boom was coming out. Amazon Prime and all the big outlet stores are starting to switch to e-commerce, and Walmart was behind the time change. So therefore, to be in the running, they had to catch up with time and change their online presence in their e-commerce website. Demonstrate the ability to evaluate the evolution of language within online environments. Well, the introduction to cell phones and the internet. When the internet came out and changed the way we communicate, it created a huge communication gap for everybody. We've had our grandparents who have been communicated the same way for years, writing letters or picking up the old dial telephone. When the internet came out, they had to literally change the entire way they communicated with their friends and family. They had to learn how to use text message and video chat. Evolution of technology can help communicate through emails, text messages, and video chats. I mean, it's just as simple as that. You don't have to write letters no more, and you don't have to, pick up the phone and hope somebody's home. You can just call them on their cell phone, which is usually in their pocket while they're out running errands. Defiance. Defiance is pretty much the same in both physical and virtual worlds. different from what is considered normal. Defiance is different from what's considered normal or morally correct. Defiance acts can happen in both physical world and in the virtual world of internet. Pretty much defiance is breaking a rule, murder, or pornography, or hacking versus stealing. It all kind of intercorrelates with each other. It just has different parameters from online and the physical world. Defiant behaviors, like I said, there are a few big ones that come to mind. Customers' information being hacked, customer satisfaction goes down, seeing employees' social media accounts. This is a huge one for big companies. If I was a customer and I saw on Facebook of somebody who I've been going to for 10 years is running amok and blasting their company online and constantly drunk or, posting just nonsense, I probably wouldn't do business with that company anymore. Manager-employee conflict due to online social media. A lot of people get caught up in a misconception of adding work with pleasure, and they shouldn't do that. Managers need to be able to keep an eye out on suspicious behavior, monitor their online presence, make sure the company doesn't get hacked, which is a huge one because a lot of companies are spending a lot of time on companies that monitor their online presence. Talk with employees and how to maintain situational awareness around work to look for deviant people. I mean, if you see somebody who's going to steal something, they always have a suspicious look to them. And last is training and more training. Thank you, and that concludes my presentation.